Happy New Year! As we prepare for everything God has in store for us in 2021, we here at Andrew Wommack Ministries and Charis Bible College wanted to pause for a moment and give you, our friends and partners, a small glimpse at some of the many ways your support has helped us change the world in 2020, delivering hope when the world needed it the most. Throughout the coronavirus pandemic, Andrew Wommack remained steadfast in spreading the gospel as far and as deep as possible. Among Andrew's top priorities were first and foremost to check on the well-being of his friends and partners.
The very first staff meeting I was at, Andrew stood up and he said that he wanted every partner called, that he wanted his partners checked on, how are they doing? And he wanted to come alongside them with those phone calls. He wanted to come alongside them with live streams, with Bible studies, with Truth and Liberty. Everything that he puts his hand to, he wanted to make available to his partners to come alongside them and encourage them so that they could be edified during this time.
During the COVID lockdown, over 600 employees were transitioned to work from home. Those who couldn't carry out their normal job duties were recruited by our partner relations team to carry out the huge task of calling all of our partners to offer prayer, ministry, and encouragement.
We had 12 different departments within the ministry that helped us. From the beginning of April until the end of June, the employees, they made just a smidgen short of 17,000 phone calls to partners. From our perspective, we were really blessed that they were willing to do it, but from their perspective, I think they gained far more than what they gave out. They got a chance to talk to Andrew's partners. They got a chance to see how wonderful and gracious they are. It was just a wonderful experience.
While the world kept focusing on the negative, Andrew's priority was to spread the good news of the gospel on a daily basis. And through your partnership, our TV team grew to accommodate our Charis Daily Bible Studies, a free live stream hosted by our Charis instructors from around the world.
We have done so many presentations now on live TV. He actually changed this department that you see right here on his set. He said, we're going to go 5 days a week live with a Charis Bible study. We had to think multiple cameras because we're talking more than a guest, a host. Sometimes we stream in guests. We didn't have to do that before when it was The Gospel Truth with Andrew Wommack. AWM Now comes out weekly now. That began this year. This is a story that we produce every week. This story is about the behind the scenes, what's going on at the ministry, things you wouldn't ordinarily know. We have Biblical Worldview series in production. We have Relationship University in production. These are following the Healing University, which we launched last year. Then we also managed to do Beyond the Game this year. As COVID was beginning, we traveled to Florida to the Pro Bowl, and we also traveled to Miami during the Super Bowl, and we got interviews with some marvelous Christian athletes there with Tony and JV. We're growing in just every way to reach the people with the gospel that changes lives.
All of this was in addition to our Gospel Truth broadcast, which celebrated its 20th anniversary last year. Also celebrating 20 years was our Healing Journey testimonies, which were the focal point of our Healing is Here conference, where Andrew interviewed many of our Healing Journey speakers, both present and overseas.
Man, technology is so awesome. You were able to bring in the people that you never would have seen and never been able to talk in real time and hear and see Andrew converse with them.
Tell us where you are.
We are in our living room in Glasgow.
Glasgow, Scotland.
Scotland.
So we've had about 23 events total this year, and 12 of them were actually converted to live stream. He can just zoom right in and he can be there at any time. And that's what's amazing about this technology, because they are getting the gospel right into their own homes, through their laptops, through their computers, through their iPhones. I didn't realize how quickly we were growing until I sat there and looked back and wow, look how much we're doing, look how far we've grown, look how further we're spreading the gospel.
In what may be the most politically polarizing year in recent history, our weekly Truth and Liberty live streams have hosted several well-known politicians, authors, and influencers who offered a biblical perspective in the face of riots, scandals, and manipulation from the media. Another alternative made available by Andrew Wommack Ministries is our GospelTruth.tv platform, which offers 24/7 biblical teaching from Andrew and friends, In 2020, the GTTV team has focused on building a new user experience for thousands of viewers, with a new video on-demand platform and apps coming soon. At the heart of all of these endeavors is connecting with believers on a whole new level, and perhaps our greatest form of connection is our Communication Services Department. When the lockdowns took place, our Communication Services Department answered record-high calls remotely in response to Andrew offering his book, The Believer's Authority, for free.
We usually take 2,000 calls every day. The first day we had over 6,000 calls come in. The second day we had over 5,000 calls come in. So over 2 days we had over 12,000 calls come in. We had 6,000 plus new contacts, and Andrew gave away over 12,000 of his books. And it was incredible. People were going from call to call. I ran into one of the employees in the break room and I said, "How are you doing?" And he says, "You know, it's like a marathon out there, and I love it."
Last year, our phone center extended their staff to operate 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. As demand increased, we have extended that to operating 10 hours a day on Saturday and Sunday, with our goal this year to be operating 24/7.
So in 2019, we answered just under 470,000 phone calls, and we're projecting out that we will probably answer about 540,000 calls by the time the year is over, which is just under an 18% increase in answered calls. People are calling, people need God, and they know God gave Andrew a special message that he delivers week after week, and it's not changed.
While our phone center took record-high calls from home, our production department mobilized in a different way to keep up with demand. Operating at limited capacity, the skeleton crew of workers fulfilled record-high orders in-house by utilizing our new bookbinding machine made available by our friends and partners.
Because we have the bookbinding equipment right now, that allows us to react quicker. When Andrew decided to do that, we only had 760 books in stock. However, again, he wanted to make this offer within 2-week time frame, and so we were able to actually print all of those in-house. We ended up moving over 13,000 of that particular book. With Andrew's new products that he's creating, Biblical Worldview, Relationship University is another product. These are items, specialty items, that we can build these in-house now. That's another major thing that without our partners we wouldn't be able to accomplish.
In addition to answering the demand of orders stateside, our production department also helped our other international locations when COVID lockdowns prevented them from accessing their warehouses.
They were able to send those orders to us, and we were able for about 2 or 3 weeks to go ahead and send those items from our Colorado office all the way around the world, wherever they needed to go. I tell my team all the time, it's like, you know, we're not here, it's not just a job. Everything we do, we're changing lives, and that's Andrew's heart.
This year was certainly unique for our Charis Bible College students who transitioned their courses to our online curriculum and graduated on time with a special drive-by graduation ceremony in Woodland Park. With 52 schools around the world, we saw a total of 1,031 students graduate our second-year program in the spring. By the fall, our team had strategized ways to start the school year with students back in the classroom.
Andrew just said, we will have Charis on campus. And so we just started praying, and the Lord just gave us just strategic plans of how to still abide by a lot of the rules and health guidelines and stuff, and still have the students on campus.
While the lockdowns may have delayed our meetings in the classroom, it could not stop our students from ministering the gospel. In the midst of the pandemic, our students around the world found new ways to show God's love by meeting the needs of their communities.
I love that the gospel is motivating our students to want to reach out to people. India got hit really hard. In fact, with COVID, with India, if you were out past the curfew, it was shoot on sight. So the student body just rose up and said, you know, despite restrictive things, we can still be free with the gospel.
Just like how Charis managed to adapt to the challenges posed from COVID-19, our demo team developed new ways of spreading Andrew's discipleship evangelism course, including translations into languages we've never ventured before.
So this year brought on 10 new translations. And the top 3 of those are Farsi, that's the Iranian language, Japanese, which is a very new one, and then we have Vietnamese that we've started to bring on. And then we have things like Lithuanian, Ateso, which is a Ugandan translation, Hmong, which is another Vietnamese, and there's a couple of Indian translations. So we've got 10 this year, and the potential reach of those 10 languages is 500 million people.
Again, all of these figures are just a small glimpse of what your partnership has allowed us to do in 2020. Because of you, we gave away over 282,000 free products in 2020 alone, equaling over $4.4 million. Because of you, we were able to host nearly 400 live stream sessions, including 40 healing schools. Because of you, we have been able to do more ministry than ever before. Not bad for a pandemic.
You know, I want to thank the partners for what they've done this year. As I see it, they've grown the ministry.
Without the partners, what we do would be possible. You know, everything that you sow into this ministry is seed being spread all around the world.
Thank you for allowing us to creatively influence and increase at a time when the enemy is trying to shut everything down.
We are very, very grateful for all the partners that have blessed this ministry through this time.
I've got 145 people right now in comm services, and every day they impact the kingdom because they come to work. And none of that's possible without the partners.
I just want to say thank you, a huge thank you for enabling us to do what we do. God bless you.
You are the voice of this ministry. We cannot do what we do without you, and we so appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of Andrew Wommack Ministries.
And so, with 2020 behind us and our future brighter than ever, let us remember that despite the hardships and challenges, we serve a limitless God that causes us to triumph over adversity. To you, our friends and partners, thank you so much for what you have already made possible. May this next year be our best one yet.